I've died and gone to heaven. Look at all these incredible flowers. I just got back from the flower market. Hi, welcome to another video. We're going to do something different today. What I'm planning to do is a series of videos that take you through step by step the process of designing for an event. This first video, we're going to go to the flower market, buy the flowers that you see here, and I'll teach you how to process it. And then we're going to go through centerpieces, bouquets, ceremony arrangements, and setting up for the wedding. So you ready? Let's get started. Driving into the San Francisco flower market. It's pre-dawn and it's already packed. Not a lot of parking left. Walking in. Hi, kitty. Here are the hardworking people of the flower mart. They make things hum. No matter how tired I am, when I walk in and see all this abundant, beautiful plant material, I'm always newly energized. We are at Torchio, one of the larger wholesalers at the San Francisco flower market. It is a one-stop shop. Torchio has pretty much everything you would need. Roses, every kind of cut flower, greenery, orchids, just everything. Look at this beautiful smoke tree. We don't need it for this event today. The colors are not what we're looking for, but wow, gorgeous. We have love and mist, scabiosa pods. I'm looking for roses. We need a lot of roses. Here, peachy blush and pink and pastel roses are what I'm looking for today. I'm looking for pink expression rose. Here's the pink expression rose. It's a beautiful, ruffled, full garden rose. This is the wholesale bunches, 25 in a carton. Princess Crown is another great option. Look at this crazy confetti rose. Bicolor Applejack roses. Novelty Greenery, Scented Geranium. Lamb's Ear. Mint. Dusty Miller. What do we have here? Buckets and buckets full of white Tweedia. Porcelain blue Tweedia. Just gorgeous. And my favorite, lavender sweet peas. Ranunculus in every color. These look good enough to eat. Yum. Sky blue delphinium. We definitely need some of this today. Very, very nice bunches. David Austin English garden roses. Beautiful. Novelty garden spray roses. Tulips galore. I don't need tulips for this event, but look at the colors. Hyacinths. Large, tall branches of greenery. We have olive and magnolia, oak and pistachio. We definitely need to pick up some hydrangeas. I need pale blue and pale green hydrangeas for this event. Lots of beautiful protea in natural colors and these vibrant dyed colors. Calla lilies. Dinner plate size dahlias. Sherbet colored orchids. We're almost done. I think we're good with our orders. I'm going to check out. Now I'm going to take you to a supply house. This is where we buy floral foam, wire, tape, containers, glue, ribbon. We're going to go down this aisle of high-end metallics, antique-inspired urns, modern gold containers, driftwood planters. Loamy design dishes, a rainbow of ribbons, birch bark planters, floral foam in every size and shape. Beautiful day in San Francisco. We're done, ready to load the van. I have everything organized in these long shipping boxes, greenery in one, hydrangeas in one, cut flowers, and roses. This helps me stay organized and keeps it from shifting while I drive. So we just unloaded everything from the van. We got a big box of roses here, an assortment of roses here. There's some stock and alstroemeria in here. This is my box of greenery. And this box here has belladonna, delphinium, aster, and some other accent flowers. And the hydrangeas I purchased today were delivered to me in buckets, which is nice. So they're in water already. And so are the Dusty Miller that I purchased. So these are in buckets. So often when you pre-order hydrangeas and things like that, and it's a large enough order, they'll just send it to you in buckets, and you can bring the buckets back to the market the next week when you're there. So we're going to start processing. What I usually do is I'll just stick the greenery in the refrigerator unless it's any kind of greenery that needs to be in water. Today we have tree fern, plumosis fern, and deciduous huckleberry, and none of it needs to be in water. So we just mist it, put it in a box, cover it, and put it in the big walk-in refrigerator. And then what I'll do after that is probably process the stalk, because the stalk needs to be in water. Like hydrangeas, stalk needs to be in water. They don't like to be dry. And then we've got delphinium and other accent flowers that are easy to process, so I'll do those next. And last, we'll do the roses, because the roses are the most time-consuming, but the roses are okay out of water. In fact, when the roses are shipped from Ecuador and Colombia and places like that, they're dry shipped in these kind of long boxes. So let's get started with all this. Okay, so like I said, we're going to start with our box of stock and alstroemeria, and I've got my big cutter, stem cutter here. Now, it's much more efficient to have a big stem cutter when you're processing for events or professionally, or you can always use your cutter. Sometimes I just use my cutter if I'm doing a smaller event. And we have our Floral Life Crystal Clear Floral Preservative, scissors for cutting rubber band and cellophane, rose stripper, clippers, and the big loppers here. And all the buckets I pre-filled before I went to market, because it's a long day when we go to market, and all of it has Floral Life already. Okay, so let's see what we have here. We got beautiful white stock. Now the stock, I bought 3 bunches of tall white stock for our tall arrangements and 1 bunch of shorter stock. And then we've got also lots of pink stock, or peachy pink stock. So here's all the stock. Now the stock in the cellophane are really nicely trimmed already. All the leaves on the bottom have been taken off, and so you don't really need to do much to it. I still pull some of the leaves off just because we're probably not going to use all the foliage. And foliage, if it gets wet, you know, creates rot. And I just lop it off. And then plop it in. So generally when things are wrapped in cellophane, I like to unwrap them because you don't want moisture in there and things rotting. See how fast it is when you have a stem cutter? I actually have a rose stripping machine, but it's really noisy and it makes a crazy mess. You have to wear safety goggles because the thorns come flying all over the place. I don't really use it anymore. It's more trouble than it's worth, I think. Okay. So the big white stalk is already processed, and now these field-grown stalk is a little messier. The leaves are still on there. They're just wrapped with a twisty. Okay. And so what I usually do is I take the stalk and I just take most of the foliage off, kind of strip it off. Oh, definitely wear gloves when you are processing flowers because they're pesticides, and you just will get all this green residue on your fingers. Just overall really tough on the hands. So get really used to wearing these single-use gloves. I get these from Costco, the nitrile gloves or whatever they're called. And then you cut it. So it's all about rot. You don't want to have your stalk too deep in a bucket. The florets coming in contact with water. I often say that so much of my work is like cooking or kitchen work, right? This is kind of like peeling potatoes here or shelling peas. When I hire people to help me process and do events, I often look for people who have experience in catering, because that's actually the closest business to what we do, right? For most flowers, I don't put that much water in the bucket. The buckets are like 1/3 to 1/2 full because you don't want to have too deep water for a lot of flowers. The only flowers that really like deep water are hydrangeas and roses. Next, we're going to work on our big box of delphinium and belladonna. Now, belladonna is a type of delphinium. I'll show you the difference. These are the tall delphinium. I have 3 bunches here. Let me show you. They're really, really, really beautiful. These are true blue, beautiful flowers. And look at how long the stems are. Look at these. There's 10 stems per bunch delphinium. It used to be 5, but now they're 10. And look at that. Just gorgeous. I love this color. And this is the delphinium. And this is a different kind of delphinium, also in that blue. This is called belladonna. It's also delphinium, but it's a little different. The stems are shorter and smaller. And these may be grown locally. I think this may be from a grower in Half Moon Bay. And the belladonna, as well as the delphinium, come in a range of different blues, lavenders, purples, and white. And some peach I've seen. So this is the belladonna. You see how it's different from the other delphinium? The stems are a little bit shorter, and the part where the flowers are is just sort of like kind of wispier, whereas these look almost like little bells on the stem. This one is just like a little wispier. We're going to use these for bouquets and centerpieces, and this tall one for the large arrangements. I definitely recommend having your buckets pre-filled the day before. You might want to reserve some for the roses because the roses take hot water. But most of these, even though sometimes they say to use lukewarm water, the cold water is okay, you know? And you can put the Floral Life in the night before when you fill the buckets so that it has overnight to dissolve. And when you get home from market, get back to your studio from market, it's already a really long day. It goes a lot faster than having to go schlep buckets back and forth. Moving right along, we've got some accent flowers here. We have beautiful feverfew, aster, another bunch of feverfew, and some million stars. Million stars is a type of baby's breath that has teeny tiny little flowers, and I love the fact that it's whiter white than baby's breath. Sometimes baby's breath could be a little bit yellow, and these are like a white. And the stems, instead of kind of being like grayish brown, is very, very green. So it's a fresher look, and the little tiny flowers are beautiful. We're going to be using this for boutonnieres and corsages, and I'm also probably going to use some in the large arrangement. And for half our centerpieces, which are going to be out of water, we're going to use that as the white accent. I always overbuy baby's breath because actually, you know, you get a lot in a bunch, right? That's okay. If you have some left over, it's very neutral. You can always use it for other events. Okay, this is some very, very beautiful feverfew. I've never seen anything like this. Look at this feverfew. It's really robust. Is this a new breed? I don't know. I've never seen it this robust. Really gorgeous. It has lots of greenery on it. So I'm just going to remove some of the greenery that's looking a little spent or a little like rotting looking, but I want to keep some of it because I think it's really charming with the leaves. Now I bought this to perhaps use in the tall arrangements. I'm going to leave it tall. So as a general rule of thumb, unless you know for sure that you're going to use these your flower material short in centerpieces, bouquets, or something like that, keep it long. You can always cut it short, right? But if you cut it all now and you decide, oh, maybe I want to use some in the tall arrangement, you can't make the stems any longer. Now you've seen me use few in my videos. You can buy them at Trader Joe, but they sure don't look like this. And then the baby's breath, the Million Stars baby's breath. Now this, you could just keep it in the sleeve. It's up to you. They're usually in a sleeve with a rubber band on the bottom. Just go ahead and cut the rubber band. And I think I might just keep it in the sleeve. It's easier to store it that way because otherwise it just poofs up so big, right? This kind of controls it. And it's not as susceptible to rotting as some flowers are. Let's move on to roses. Today we've got incredible roses. Like I said, they're all going to be garden style in a variety of beautiful, beautiful colors, at least my favorite colors. We've got Pink Expression, which is sort of like a corally pink English style cupped rose, maybe with over 100 petals. And this is a gorgeous spray rose in an apricot called Silva Sunny. It's a spray, but each flower is really big. This one is called Myra's Peach. So we're going to start with these three. Now with the roses, you want hot water. So I have buckets back here with hot water with floral preservative. Now, generally speaking, when you buy roses wholesale, it's 25 stems for each bundle. Now there's certain specialty roses, like certain garden roses are 12 stems. So they're, generally speaking, Ecuadorian roses are going to be 25 stems in a sleeve like this. And they're sold by the length. This is a 50 centimeter Pink Expression. And you're gonna love this rose, it's gorgeous. You see how beautiful this is? When it opens up, like that. Now Pink Expression has a lot of thorns, so you're gonna have to get your rose stripper out. And I just kind of hold it here. Don't hold it too high up on the rose because there are roses that have kind of a weakness right here above that last set of leaves. So it likes to break off here. So hold it kind of below that last set of leaves while you're stripping it. And you can leave that last set of leaves on there. And this is the best rose stripper because it's got a protective plastic case. Unlike the old-fashioned stainless steel ones where, you know, you can go down the stem of a rose and just really rip up your fingers. So this is wonderful. So you'll see they're packed very nicely in here. You've got some taller ones and some shorter ones in a sleeve, in a cardboard sleeve. And these are Ecuadorian garden style roses. You know, the hybridizers keep up with the times. They know we like these garden style roses, so now we get lots of these commercially grown garden roses. These are probably not grown in garden, they're greenhouse roses. Look how long and straight and perfect the stems are, right? But the flowers bloom like a David Austin rose, which is wonderful. Just even a couple of years ago, it was a challenge to get roses, garden style roses, without paying a fortune. And now they're much more readily available. This Pink Expression, I believe 25 stems was about $30. Okay, the next rose I'm going to show you is a new one to me. It's a garden spray rose in just a beautiful apricot color. It is called Silva Sunny, and it's a 40 centimeter rose, so it's going to be short. So we're going to get our short bucket out. You will love this rose. Look at this rose. It's a spray rose, but it's not like the little tiny headed spray roses. It's just gorgeous. Looks like something you can grow from your own garden, right? And it's thornless mostly, so I almost don't need the stripper. There's one thorn on here. Just a phenomenal rose. It was very inexpensive. This is 12 stems, But as you can see, each stem has so many heads, and I believe it was $20 because it's priced as a spray rose, not as a garden rose. But this is more beautiful than any garden rose. I wonder if anybody has ever tried to propagate roses from commercially cut roses. I would love to grow this in my garden. And the varieties, you know, the names of roses that you can buy commercially and the roses that you buy in the nursery are very different. So it's not like I could find this. Now, because the heads are kind of heavy and the stems are kind of delicate, I'm not going to use the big cutter. I just use the my pruning shears. Another rose here that's new to me. It's called Myra's Peach, or Queen Myra's Peach. It's another garden style rose in a light clear pink. Now this doesn't have hardly any thorns or even leaves at the bottom. A few leaves, you can just pull them off because there's really no thorns. Sometimes you have some tall and some short stems, right? If it's too different, sometimes I'll have them in two buckets. Taller buckets for the taller stems, shorter bucket for the shorter stems. This Myra's Peach is incredible. Look at that. It's already almost blooming. Some of it is a little tighter than others, but you can see what they will be like in a few days. Just gorgeous, this rose. Moving along, I'm going to show you what else I bought. This is another pink expression. This is an incredible rose called White O'Hara. This is one of the original commercially grown garden roses. There's pink O'Hara and white O'Hara. And that's the White O'Hara, which is one of my favorite roses, and I'll show you why. It is huge, and it's heavily scented, which is very unusual for a Ecuadorian rose grown for, you know, stem length, lasting quality, color. It's just spectacular. And look at these flowers. Look at the size of this head. This is going to fully open into like an English style rose. And it's like a translucent white on the outside and a bridal pink on the inside. So it's like a translucent white pink. It's an incredible rose. So we're going to go ahead and place our white O'Haras in one of these tall buckets. Let's get these into the fridge. Wow, I'm ready for a nap. I've been up since 4 a.m. Market days are always grueling, but I'm always energized by all these spectacular, beautiful materials I get to work with. I hope you had fun and enjoyed watching me buy and process all these beautiful materials. And please stay tuned. For my next video, I'm going to show you how we're going to use all these beautiful flowers to create spectacular centerpieces. As always, please like and subscribe, leave me a comment, and I will see you in my next video.